Hello and welcome to the first vlog of 2026. I'm beyond excited for this vlog. We've had an interesting reading year. I didn't quite hit my goal of the year, which was 225 books. I didn't hit it. I didn't even hit 200, which is fine. And honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna hit it this year either. For me though, a goal is like, it's not really something that I stress myself out about too much, because like as long as I'm enjoying the books that I'm reading, right? Like it's really just a personal goal. It doesn't really matter if I hit it or not. But January is going to be a very ambitious month. If you had watched my January TBR, you probably already know that. So we ended up picking 10 prompts out of our prompt jar when we normally only pick 5. And of course we have our series going and like anything else that we might need to read. But I figure, what better way to start 2025 or 2026 and end 2025? It is the 31st currently. So we're going to go into the new year. We're starting this vlog like in 2025. So we're gonna go into the new year with a bang. I figure, what's the best way to start off the vlogs of 2026 than to just read whatever the heck I want. So this vlog is gonna be like a mood / cozy reading vlog, which I'm really excited about. There are a couple of books that I want to get to right off the bat that are on the TBR. So is it really a mood reading? Yeah, I would still say, because like I put them on a TBR for a reason. Like I do want to read them. So one of the books that I want to read right away, it might be the first book that I read of the year, is A Curious Beginnings. So that'll be one of the ones that I pick up right off the bat. And Beasts of Carnival is another one that this one's not on the TBR, but I do want to get to it like sooner rather than later. So those are the two that I know I want to start with right off the bat. One of them that I probably could read that isn't really like a mood read, because I don't know if I really am in the mood to read it right now, but I could also try to fit in That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So these are like the tentative TBR for this. Like this is the tentative TBR for this vlog, like just these 3 books. We'll see if I end up completing them before this has to come out. If not, like it's fine. I'm also planning on hitting, I got a Barnes & Noble gift card for Christmas that I want to use soon. So I'm also planning on possibly going and doing a little shopping. And one of the books that I definitely want to get, now that I'm off my Christmas book buying ban, one of the books that I definitely want to get is Spy Family Volume 15, because that came out in December. So we might pick that one up as well. For now though, I think Benson is streaming the last stream of the year tonight, and I'm definitely going to put on the New Year's Eve celebration. I forget the Dick Clark's, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean. And probably in between editing and watching, I might start A Curious Beginning, even though who cares? It's the day before. It's fine. So I'm probably going to start A Curious Beginning, and I will, like right now, all I know about this is that it's about our main character, Veronica, and I think there's like an attempt on her life, and she ends up hanging out with this guy called Stoker, and they have like I've heard like all throughout the series, they have a really slow burn romance that goes on while they're trying to solve the mystery of why people want to harm her. So I'm interested, I'm intrigued. I don't know if I like slow burn romance. I don't think I've ever read like a super slow burn romance. So I'm interested, I'm intrigued, I'm excited, and I'm nervous about this. My goodness. Benson has now tried calling me twice. So I should probably go see what they want. They're right downstairs. They could easily come and get me if they need to, but I'm going to bring this downstairs and I'm going to start editing and then probably start reading while we watch the ball drop for the night. And of course, listen to Benson's stream. Okay, I'll see you in a bit. Love you, bye. Excuse the hair, just got out of the shower, but I figured before Benson comes upstairs and starts to bother me, I should probably give you an update on what I read today. So I haven't finished any books, but I've made some progress in 2. And the first one I'm going to talk about, I'm not very far into it. Actually, this page is not correct. I ended up reading some of it on my phone on the Kindle app earlier because I forgot my physical book. But I made progress, a little bit of progress, only like 50 pages into A Curious Beginning. And this one is, like I said, I'm only 50 pages in, so I have not gotten a very good idea of what's going on. We have met Stoker. So I think I've explained this follows Veronica, and she works with butterflies. She likes to catalog and like discover new butterflies. Like I know there's a technical term for it. I don't know that term. I'm sure it's in here and I probably just skipped over it. But she goes home one day after her guardian has passed away. She goes home and fights off an attacker, and then she meets this man who comes in to save her, and like you get a sense that there are things that he's hiding that he knows about in regards to her safety. Like she is very much in danger, and so she decides to go along with it. And the Baron, who is the guy that comes in and saves her, ends up leaving her in the care of his dear friend Stoker, who is definitely a grump in the grumpy sunshine dynamic, though I don't think she's much sunshine. So it's not really a grumpy sunshine dynamic, but he is very, I'll read off the back of the book here, bad-tempered, which is fair. And yeah, they end up starting to work together a little bit, and then they get news that the Baron, who is the guy that is trying to keep her safe, he has died. And so these two are left wondering why Veronica has been left in Stoker's care and why exactly people have their sights set on her to begin with. So far, we haven't gotten a lot of plot information, but we have gotten a lot of banter, and I'm already loving it. Stoker is a very grumpy character, but we are already seeing a little bit into his insights. And Veronica, while I do like her, she is coming off as a very badass, I don't care what you think of me, like I'm gonna live my life the way that I want to kind of person. She's also coming off as a little bit of a pick-me, just a little bit. I do really, really like her character, but I can see how some people will definitely not like her character because of just how she comes off, especially in the way of like describing other women. Like I know it's a different time, and like women that like have strong-minded opinions tend to look down on other women who don't, like during this time, but it comes off a little better than you mentality. So yeah. Again, only 50 pages in. We'll definitely be continuing it. I am really enjoying it. I'm intrigued to see more about where the mystery is going and why Veronica is in the trouble that she's in. But the one that I've made even more progress in, because I listened to the audiobook today while I was at work, I am 55% of the way through That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So this one follows Cinnamon, Sin for short, and she has just come from like a village party and she is a little bit tipsy, and she's walking through the forest and she ends up saving a demon. So what he ends up revealing is the goddess that her and her village have all been worshipping for the last however many years isn't actually a goddess. She's in fact a witch, and she has enslaved all of these demons and made them go completely crazy. So Cinnamon ends up, breaking him out of that spell. And so he basically says, okay, I need your help in destroying all of her temples so that we can take her down and get justice for for me and for all of the demons that are under her spell. And she has no choice but to agree, because he threatens the safety of her family and the village. And then they end up growing a little bit of an attachment to each other, which leads to some spicy, smutty scenes, which I have, I've had a couple of conversations lately where people are like, you read smut, like all you read is porn. And I'm like, I really don't read as much smut as people think I do. But, and I don't have a lot of it on my shelf, but this book is kind of making me want to read more romance / smut because it's been a while since I've had just a good, mindless, fun, silly story like this. I'm loving this so much. We are getting that banter between the two characters. I really wasn't expecting to be in the mood for this right now. I mean, I picked it because it was the only book on, I think it fit for a long title prompt when I pulled it from my TBR, for my TBR. And this was the only one that I could think of that was on my immediate, in my immediate sights. And I just wasn't expecting to like it. Honestly, if I'm being 100% honest, I was expecting it to be more silly, goofy, kind of I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend, which I did enjoy, but I only got a 3-star. This one I am loving so much. I love Cinnamon's character. I do like Fallon. Fallon's a demon. I do like Fallon's character and how cocky he comes off, and just how much he's very much a touch her and die kind of person, but he's brutal about it. I don't know what I was expecting this to be, but I think based on the cover I was just expecting it to be a silly, goofy time, and not really maybe with a couple of smut scenes. But it's this is a lot of fun. I definitely see why it has the hype that it gets, and I am really glad that I picked this up. I might not have necessarily been in the mood for it right now, but I am glad that this is how we are starting off the year, because we're starting off the year with 2 really fun, interesting, and intriguing books. As far as the plans for the rest of the night, I do have to cook dinner, which I think we're doing a really nice simple ramen tonight. And I think that's really all I have to do. I might have to watch a couple of episodes of Andor for the podcast, because I haven't even started that, and we're supposed to film that episode on Tuesday. But I do need to at least start that. Otherwise, though, I think I'm free to keep reading, so I might pop in the audiobook if Benson isn't going to help me. I might pop in the audiobook while I cook. That time I got drunk, while I cook. And I don't know, I've kind of been wanting to play Power Wash Simulator lately, so I might keep the audiobook on. Maybe I'll finish it tonight, and if I do, I'll let you know. But I also do need to get in some physical reading too, because I feel like I have definitely verged off track with my physical reading. I definitely rely more on audiobooks, which isn't a bad thing. I love listening to audiobooks because it allows me to do a lot of things while I'm listening. But I also miss the feeling of just sitting down and reading words on a page and getting super comfy, cozy on the couch or in my bed and just reading for an hour or two. Yeah, so I do definitely want to get some free physical reading in the next couple of days. I do have tomorrow off as well. I do need to spend some, I might do some like TV sprints, because what I like to do is I'll watch like an episode of a show and then read a certain amount of pages in a book, and then I'll watch the next episode and like keep alternating between the two, which is something that I might do tomorrow so that I can start catching up on Andor and also make progress in this book. I think the next time I talk to you will be when I finish That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. So I will let you know what I think about that. And then I'm hoping, like, I do have a Barnes & Noble gift card that I got for Christmas. So I am hoping that we get to go use that soon. I hope it'll be within this vlog too, so that I can pick up something else that will be equally as fun. I'm excited. Okay, I will see you hopefully in a few hours, if not tomorrow. Hey, okay, it's actually been like 2 days since I've talked to you. It is now Monday. The last I talked to you was Saturday, and I have since finished That Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon. I finished it, and I honestly was not really in the mood for this. I know this is kind of like a mood reading vlog, but I really was not in the mood for it. Like right now, I wanted to wait until like the spring, and honestly I just didn't think that I would enjoy this. I thought it would be like a cute, fun little 3-star read, but it was so much more than that. So I think I explained this in the last vlog. It was cute and it was spicy, and it actually had like a really good story. Like we went on an adventure with Cinnamon and Fallon, and we got to see more of the world. I really just thought this was gonna be like a silly, stupid, smutty time, but it was so much fun, and it had a lot of my favorite tropes, like the found family trope. We got a little bit of like a pirate story towards the end of it. We got some adventures and a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I read it. It was my first read of the year, and it was a 5-star, and I couldn't be more excited. The second read is also shaping up to be a potential 5-star read. It is A Curious Beginning. Obviously, I've also talked about this one. I wasn't very far in the last time we spoke. I am now 260-ish pages in. Yesterday I did a lot of TV sprints. If you don't know what a TV sprint is, it's basically you pick a show and you watch like an episode or two, depending on how long they are and how fast you want to get through the show. And then you read. Either you read for a certain amount of time or you read like a certain amount of pages. I prefer to do a certain amount of pages, because if I give myself a time limit, then I'm not really reading as much as possible, because I'm like a slow reader. If I give myself like a certain amount of pages, it just happens to work better for me. I typically, or what I was doing yesterday was watching an episode or two of Andor, and those are about 40-ish minutes each. Because I'm watching it for the podcast, I was watching like 2 episodes at a time and then reading 30 pages of the book, which 30 pages doesn't seem like a lot, but it takes me about 40 minutes to an hour to read 30 pages, because again, I'm a slow reader. Not like I'm not mad about it or anything, but doing that actually got me to read like 200 pages yesterday, which again might not seem like a lot in one day, but it is to me, because I tend to get distracted if I'm just reading. Like if I read 200 pages in a row, like I tend to get bored of just sitting down. Even though like I like the idea of sitting there and reading physically, it doesn't always tend to work for me, because I always get distracted by something that I should be doing or could be doing. I should be moving, I could be coloring, I could be playing a game that I have not touched in forever. Like I always feel like I should be doing something, or like planning a video or something like that. And I almost, so doing reading sprints like this actually really helped me and get through books quicker. So I read 200 pages of of A Curious Beginning, and oh my god, I am hooked. I was really nervous about this. I was excited about it, but nervous because I thought that I wasn't really going to like this because of that slow burn element that it had. I am loving this so much. Like, how crazy is it that the first 2 books that I've read of the year might both be 5 stars? Like, I am beyond excited. We have gotten, at first Veronica wasn't truly like convinced that somebody was out to get her, and she's not really telling Stoker the full story, and Stoker isn't really telling her the full story. We got like a little bit of a sideshow circus element in this, which if you know me, you know I love any, like the idea of anything involving a circus, which I don't think I think I knew it about this book, but I also didn't really remember until the idea popped up of them going to stay with Stoker's old friends and realizing they were part of a traveling show. Like, that immediately got my interest. I am sad that like we didn't spend the whole book there. Like, it was just a portion of the book. But I'm like so invested in this story. I'm so intrigued to see how they are going to create, like, where the story is going to go, because it has 10 books out. Oh, 9 books out right now. The 10th is coming out in March. I'm so invested and so intrigued to see where this story is going to go and where their romance is going to go, because a lot of people say this is like slow burn, and we're already getting like little pieces of intrigue between the two. Like, we've already had a couple of moments where like they've been standing so close together and like been looking at each other like in a certain way, and it's, oh, I don't know if it's gonna get on my nerves, but right now I'm loving it. I am living for it. I love how close their friendship has already grown. It's so intriguing, and I'm so interested to see where this is gonna go 10 books in. I have to go be social now, so I don't imagine I'm gonna have a lot of time for reading tonight, especially since I do need to watch some of Andor either tonight or tomorrow, because I'm not, so technically it's supposed to be for the episode for tomorrow, but I think we're going to push it to Friday. I'm hitting a little bit of a slump, like a watching slump, like not just with Star Wars, but I think with most things. It's just such a dense world that I'd rather be reading right now. Like, I think my love for reading is kind of coming back, so I would rather be reading than really doing anything else. And like, I'm picking up some really intriguing, fun, and interesting books that I would rather be reading than watching dense sci-fi right now, if that makes sense. Like, nothing against the Star Wars universe. I'm literally loving almost everything that we're watching for Star Wars, but I'd so much rather be reading right now. We are gonna go figure out what we're doing for dinner. We're either cooking here, and if we do cook here, it's probably going to be like a fried chicken, or if we're going out, and then at that point I don't know where we're going, so we got to go figure that out, and then we'll figure out what we're doing for the rest of the night, and I will let you know if I end up reading more later on. Okay, it's been a few days once again. This vlog is not quite done yet. I do want to finish one more book, but I have some updates to give you because I have finished 2, actually. I finished A Curious Beginning, which I was going back and forth on as to whether or not I was going to give it a 4 or a 5, mainly because it was taking a direction, so that we got a plot twist in this that normally I don't love, because it ends up changing like the entirety of our character's like personality. That's usually the direction that it takes, but it did not take that direction, and I'm actually really happy about it. So I ended up giving it a 5 star. I'm having like a really good reading year already. The first 2 books that I read ended up being 5 star, and the 4th one, which I finished for this vlog, just didn't have time to update you, I gave a 4 star, and that is Spy Family Volume 15. I ended up picking this one up. Oh, because we went to the bookstore the other day, which I started to get footage of, and then my phone died, so I didn't get a lot of like footage. Like you would have seen, I was in such a mood for romance after that time I got drunk and saved a demon. So we ended up going to Barnes & Noble, and my goal was ultimately to find some spicy books and B, to see if they had the second book in the Veronica Speedwell series, and they did. So I ended up getting, it's over there, I don't want to go get it. I ended up getting the second book to the Veronica Speedwell series, A Perilous Undertaking, which is really funny because I don't know if it's the series is like inspired by it, but the titles alone are giving a series of unfortunate events vibes, and it's really, really funny. I really hope that it does not follow. I hope it's not inspired by the events of those books, because that'd actually be really sad. But I'm having so much fun. Like, normally I don't jump right into the sequel of a book right after I finish it, because I usually like to have a little bit of free time away from like my characters. But I know myself, and right now the fact that I'm in the mood to jump right into the sequel is a good thing, so that I don't hold off the series forever. So I got that one. I plan on starting it soon. And then I got Blood Over Brighthaven. I've heard amazing things about this. So many people have loved this, given it 5 stars, and it has also been known to ruin people. I'm intrigued, I'm excited, and I'm scared. I'm terrified. But then the spicy books, I spent a little bit over in that section. Benson is judging me. Not currently, but Benson judged me when I bought them. So first of all, this is the reason that Benson is judging me, is because I went over and I asked them while we were shopping, Hercules or Captain Hook, and they chose Hercules. So they chose Learn My Lesson by Katie Robert, not realizing, obviously I didn't tell them any context, but not realizing that this is a polyamory relationship between Megara, Hercules, and Hades. And Benson's main concern is that these two, in obviously Greek lore, are related. I don't know if they're related in this one. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a super silly, stupid, spicy book. I don't care that much about the plot. I mean, I do, but like, I don't. And then, oh, I also obviously got Spy Family Volume 15 because I read it. And then I got this book. So it is part of the Black Rose auction, and I have to look into whether or not there are more of these. My Barnes & Noble only had one, but the whole deal of it is there are 2 books in one. So about half of it is one book and the other half is the other, and I guess it's meant to be read as a duology. So you read like this whole book as if it's like 2 separate books. So that's really cool and fun. I have to see if there, like I said, I have to see if there are more that are similar to this, because this is a really cool concept. This is Divine Intervention by R.M. Virtues, and then on the back is Katie Robert with Wicked Pursuit. I'm really excited for that one. I did kind of want to pick up one of those, but I'm in such a mood to continue on with the Veronica Speedwell series, so I want to start that ASAP. I don't think I told you at all how I felt about Volume 15 of Spy Family, because I got distracted. But Volume 15, I gave a 4-star. This is still my favorite manga series of all time. I love it. I'm having so much fun with it. Just this one had the ending of the storyline that I was not really invested in. I mean, like, it's a really good storyline, and I'm glad that we were getting answers to some things that obviously have not been answered in the past. But I missed, because we weren't really following our main characters in it. I missed Anya, and I missed Lloyd and Yor, and we got to see them more in this one, which I was really, really happy about. That's just like, they're the main reasons that I'm reading this series. Obviously, I love getting like side characters, like insight from side characters and like a little bit about their background, and that is super interesting. It's just not what I'm reading this series for. And that's fine. There are bound to be volumes that I like less than others. That is totally fine. It doesn't mean I love the series any less. We'll probably get slightly lower ratings every once in a while, and that is okay. I am really excited. I haven't heard anything about the English release for volume 16. I still highly recommend this series. I'm having a great time with it. I don't think I'll ever stop having a good time with it. I hope I don't ever stop having a good time with it. However, I am kind of hoping that we pick up the pace a little bit and like we start making a little more progress with certain characters. But as far as reading, I have to catch up on Andor for the podcast today. So I'm hoping to do that, but I also have to go, Benson and I are going to our tea place in a little bit, and then I have to stop by the library and the post office so that I can send out a Pango order. And then Benson has to go to work for a couple of hours, and so I will be left alone to my own devices, and we're going to record the podcast episode a little later today so that can be edited and uploaded. I'm not to jinx myself, but I am also doing really well this month with editing and uploading all of the work in progresses that we're doing. So I'm actually really, really excited. It is Friday though, so if I want to finish a whole nother book in this vlog, I should start A Perilous Undertaking sooner rather than later. So I might do some like TV sprints today in between everything, because I do have to tidy up a little bit, have to do some chores around the house, and of course snuggle with the babies. Maxie has been in such a playful mood lately. And Bigsy really just wants to chill and cuddle. So it's like literally like they have completely swapped personalities. It is so funny and so interesting. Okay. So I am gonna go see what Benson's up to, because they went downstairs to check on the laundry a while ago and just have not come back up. So I'm gonna go see if they are ready to go so that we can get all of our outside of the house chores done before I come home and finish my inside chores. If that makes sense. I will see you in a little while. Okay, so I was sitting down and looking at some of my planning for the rest of the month, because I have actually been using my planner. I know, it's wild to think that planners actually work if you use them, but we've been having such a good productive month with getting all of the vlogs out on time and actually having a really good reading month in terms of star ratings. I'm hoping to keep up that momentum. But looking at the next vlog that needs to be uploaded, it's the Choose Your Own Adventure. And I realized that A Perilous Undertaking actually fits for the Choose Your Own Adventure vlog. If you watched my 13 Nights of Halloween, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, go watch it, because it was a lot of fun and a lot of work. But I think I'm going to move A Perilous Undertaking to that vlog. But I don't want to leave you without finishing another book for this one. So my options are, because I don't think I have a lot of like short books that I can read right now that aren't for other videos. What I think I'm going to do is either try to find the ebook for my reread of the month, which is El Deafo, which is a short graphic novel about a young girl who is deaf, and it's about her trying to navigate being deaf as a young student in school, especially with friends. So it's really, I remember really liking it and being really interested in it when I read it the first time. Either that or my series of the month, which is Amelia Fang, which I can't find most of them through ebook. Like, I probably could get the physical from my library, but then I'd have to just wait for the holds, and not that I don't want to. Like, it's a fun and cute series. It's just right now it's become such a hassle to find them, and I don't know, I feel like there are just other series that I could spend that time and effort on. I'll probably come back to it another time, But I think for right now, we're gonna try to just read for another series. I don't know for what, though. I might pull out of a jar or something and just let you know, like, at the end of the month. Yeah, so I think, honestly, that's what I'm going to do. I just wanted to give you this, like, short, quick little update to let you know that that is the plan. And then we'll come back when I finish that and probably wrap this vlog up so that we can start moving on to a 7-book reading vlog. That's probably going to be a lot longer than this one. So Benson's home. Hi, honey.
Hi. Oh, wait.
So
There's
we're...
football. You can't get copyright.
Honey, it's okay. They're not going to hear it.
You fucking bet.
Anyway, we are getting ready to go to a movie in a little while. Connor's gonna come. He's going with us. We're gonna go out to dinner, go to a movie. I thought I would wrap up this vlog here because it's gonna be posted tomorrow and I don't have time to read anything else. I did just finish El Deafo, which was my reread for the month. It is what I picked out of the jar. I was wrong in saying she was born deaf because I think I said that in the TBR. She was 4 years old when she got sick and it ended up affecting her hearing.
You read a book on Helen Keller?
Jacob Benson.
What? I'm serious.
No, it's called El Deafo. It's a graphic novel.
El Deafo.
Yes. So she hears it on a TV show and she decides to turn that into her superhero name. It's really cute. It's a very cute graphic novel. When I first read it, I gave it a 5-star. Now it's probably like a 3.5. It was cute for what it was. It was fun. It was really interesting because you get to see as she's growing up. She loses her hearing at 4, and then it goes all the way up until she's in the 4th grade. And you kind of see her annoyances with other kids treating her differently. She does not want to be stared at. She gets all of these different kind of hearing aids as she's progressing in school. And you get to see how her friendships are affected by this. Most of all, there are some friends that will just sign at her, and she doesn't, like, just because she's deaf doesn't necessarily mean that she knows sign. She doesn't really want to learn sign. And she has this one friend that talks really loudly and, like, breaks up her words, and that really annoys her to the point where it does affect her friendship because she ends up saying something about it, and her friend, instead of taking her feelings into consideration, she just ignores her and continues on. I think it's a really important story, and it's definitely one that if you're looking for a book to have conversations with your children or other people about, I would definitely consider this one that can be used. I'm glad that I reread it. I do need to update that reread star though, because there are some books on my TBR that I would definitely, or not on my TBR, but some books that I've read in the past that I would definitely love to reread again. Okay, so this is the end of our mood reading vlog. It's been a fun week. I've read some of my favorite books so far. 2 of them have been 5 stars, and I am very excited to continue on with that series, which you'll see in my Choose Your Own Adventure, sponsored by Benson.
Well,
I will let you know. Actually, you'll see those vlogs very, very, very soon. We have a couple of really fun ones coming later in the month. I just wanted to start our year out by doing something a little fun and more low-key. The next vlog you'll see, I believe, will be the Choose Your Own Adventure, where we're trying to read 7 books, because that is the amount that my fiance gave me.
Sorry.
When you were supposed to give me 5 at the max.
Hey, that's only 2 more. You're a grown woman. You can do it. You can do it. You got this.
Anyway, I will see you all later. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Mwah, and goodbye.